So for 2025, there are 6 exciting different Softail models to choose from. Now you can check one of our previous videos to see what brings all these bikes together, but we're going to talk about how each of these motorcycles stands out on their own. So if you've been thinking about buying a new motorcycle in 2025, you've got a tough job. There have always been good options, but for 2025, almost any rider will have a good time on any Harley-Davidson motorcycle. With the performance of the updated Sportster line, the refresh on the baggers, the multi-tool Pan America motorcycles, and the massive Softail updates, it's tough if you're only trying to pick one to take home. I've always considered the Softail line as the Goldilocks bikes of Harley-Davidsons. They're small and light enough to whip around on errand runs through the city, but they're also big and powerful enough that you don't mind taking them on weekend motorcycle getaways. If you're more interested on what updates the Softail line received for 2025, then you can check out our video on that. But we're going to dive into some key features of each bike that makes it stand out to make sure you take home the right Softail for you. So for 2025, there are 6 Softail models to choose from: the Street Bob, the Lowrider S, the Lowrider ST, the Breakout, the Fat Boy, and the Heritage Classic. All 6 models are sporting 117 cubic inch Milwaukee 8 motors, all LED lighting, cruise control, and more rider safety enhancements than we've seen for these bikes, so you really can't go wrong with any of them. Most of the differences we'll talk about will be minor ones that give each bike a slight advantage in certain areas. Plus, if you consider how modular Harley-Davidson motorcycles are, you can add or swap out so many parts to get any of these models dialed in to the exact riding you're planning to do. While there are 6 models this year, there are also 3 motor configurations. In order of the least to most output, the Street Bob and Heritage share the Classic, the Breakout and Fat Boy share the Custom, then both the Lowrider and Lowrider ST share the high output. The Lowrider S and ST are also the only motorcycles in the lineup lacking passenger readiness. The other 4 contain a passenger seat and foot pegs. If you want to carry a passenger on either Lowrider, you will need to add those on. Individually, the Street Bob is most distinguished by its minimal fenders, single front rotor, fork boots, and smaller 3.5 gallon tank. The Fat Boy and Breakout share the most attitude and similar wide rear tire. The Fat Boy keeps a plusher ride with a fat tire in the front, near solid rims, extra chrome around the headlight, floorboards, and a tank-mounted dash. The Breakout contains a similar yet taller 21-inch front wheel, more rake, a lot of chrome, forward controls, and a riser-mounted speedo. The Lowrider S and ST remain the powerhouse Softails with the most torque, most horsepower, best handling, and best braking. They utilize an inverted front suspension setup with dual front rotors, a riser-mounted speedo, mid-controls, heavy breather, and 2-to-1 exhaust. While the S has a smaller fairing around the headlight, the ST goes full touring mode with a large fixed fairing, lockable quick-detach luggage, and for 2025, the option for chrome trim. Which brings us to the more stop and smell the roses touring Softail, the Heritage Classic. This bike is ready to cruise with floorboards, full-length fenders, auxiliary lights, laced or cast wheels, and mini 8 bars. Rider and passenger can also enjoy the benefits of a removable windshield and removable locking bags. For riders looking a touring Softail, the Heritage Classic and Lowrider ST are the clear front runners with their wind protection and locking luggage. But the Heritage Classic we'd consider the most touring ready with those floorboards, auxiliary lighting, relaxed riding position, and passenger readiness. For riders looking to tour in a more sporty fashion, the Lowrider ST with its commanding riding positions, inverted front, and high output motor make it hard to beat. The Lowrider S looks like it'd be the most fun to rip, but the Street Bob looks like it'd be the most fun to ride shorter distances, with its reduced fuel tank compared to the other Softail's 5-gallon tanks. If long multi-day rides aren't the biggest priority, but you want a bike that makes a statement on the road and in the parking lot, the Fat Boy and Breakout are solid choices. They'll perform at about the same level, but riders have often credited the Fat Boy with more comfort, and the Breakout for a little more nostalgic feel on a bike that can still put down some power. All 6 Softails are going to be an absolute blast to rip or cruise wherever you want, but hopefully this brief introduction makes it a little bit easier to pick each model out. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any other questions about the Harley-Davidson Softail lineup, then be sure to come see us here at Tobacco Road Harley-Davidson in Raleigh, North Carolina. So in the meantime, ride safe, and I hope to see you soon.